In this video, we're going to talk about stress. Now, we've probably all heard about managing stress and different ways of reducing stress in your life, and while that's all good, that's not what I want to talk about in this video. First, I want to point out that stress is just a physiological chemical response in your body to some sort of stimulus, right? So whether that's at work or in family relationships or exercise, right? Those are all inputs, and then we're creating a response in our body. And stress isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just bad when it's repeated over and over again and you don't get a chance to recover. So the reason we talk about stress is because it can affect our health in different ways. It can cause us to overeat. It can affect our sleep. It affects our ability to exercise and sort of the body's ability to adapt and get stronger from that exercise, right? It can cause inflammation in the body, and it has a lot of potentially negative effects if it stays kind of at this constant high level in our body. And that's what we have here with the acute versus chronic. Naturally, we're supposed to kind of go through these highs and lows with stress, right? We have a stress response. It allows us to handle a situation or escape from something, right? Previously, that might have been life or death. And then we go into a state of recovery. And what happens now is we sort of stay at this chronically high area and never go into that recovery. And that's where our problems arise. I also wanted to talk about the autonomic nervous system, because that is what kind of governs our stress response. And it's broken into two sides, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is in charge of fight or flight, right? That pumps us up and gets us ready to escape or fight or whatever it is. In this day and age, it's like getting maybe angry on the freeway or having a stressful situation at work. That all hypes up our sympathetic nervous system. And on the other side, we have the parasympathetic nervous system. That's our rest and digest system. That's the side that kind of gets us ready to be able to digest our food, to take naps and go to sleep, right? It's our ability to enter a state of the healing process, which is what we do in sleep too, right? So parasympathetic nervous system, very active when we sleep and when we're repairing and things like that. So most of the time, like I said, we talk about decreasing the stressors, which means decreasing the input to the sympathetic side, but that's not always reasonable. We have to live our lives, we have to go to work, we have to encounter these stressful situations. So what I wanted to talk about is increasing the input to the parasympathetic side. Now, that's something we can have control over, and that's something we can create goals and routines to deal with. And so examples of that are breathing exercises, light exercise such as yoga, stretching, listening to music, meditation, prayer, anything like that. And so what you're doing in all of those situations is you're calming your nervous system down. You're getting more input from the P and S right there. And what you're really doing is stimulating this nerve. It's called the vagus nerve, which is actually means wandering nerve. It goes from your brain and kind of travels down through your diaphragm and everything like that. And so that's why deep breathing exercises have such a big impact on relaxation. If you're breathing with your diaphragm, you're stimulating that vagus nerve, which is a direct connection to the PNS. Anything using your voice, singing, humming, gargling, that has a big impact on the vagus nerve as well. And so we're finding things to stimulate that system, which will help us balance out the two sides of the autonomic nervous system. And in doing so, we should be able to get into that state of rest and recovery and make it so we're not so constantly and chronically in a heightened state of nervous system activity. So if you need ideas, you can always YouTube different breathing exercises, but a simple one that I like to do is a box breathing, where you time the breath in, the hold at the top, the breath out, and the hold at the bottom. Those should all be equal length. So maybe you do 3 seconds in, hold for 3, breathe out for 3, hold for 3, and repeat. I'll give you some assignments here in the bottom, but finding ways to do that, finding things that you can do that are relaxing, right, in response to the stressful situations. This will help you deal with the stressful situations. It'll help improve your sleep. improve your workouts, and improve your nutrition. If you have questions, again, comment below, and hopefully this helps.